Supergirl. The Girl of Steel is getting a fresh start in the DCU, and fans are buzzing with excitement. Supergirl will focus on the heroine's journey as she teams up with a young warrior on a mission for revenge. Millie Alcock, best known for House of the Dragon, is stepping into the iconic role. Supergirl is set to hit theaters on June 26, 2026, less than a year after James Gunn's Superman. That film already set the tone for this new DC universe, earning positive reviews for bringing back light, humor, and romance to the franchise. Millie Alcock's Supergirl briefly appeared in Superman, rescuing her dog Krypto and showing a cool indifference toward her famous cousin, played by David Corenswet. It was a short but impactful introduction that left fans eager for more. The upcoming movie is based on the comic Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evely. It follows Kara Zor-El at a difficult crossroads. She feels lost and without purpose, especially now that her cousin Superman no longer needs her protection. Her path changes when a young galactic warrior named Ruthie Mary Knoll asks for help avenging her father's murder and the destruction of her home. Together with Krypto, they embark on a dangerous space journey that will push them to their emotional and physical limits. James Gunn has described this version of Supergirl as darker and more hardened, having survived years of trauma before arriving on Earth. James Gunn said, "She's a total mess. I think as we learn, she's had a completely different background from Superman, a much more difficult background," Gunn explains. "He's had this wonderful upbringing by these two parents that loved him and were very healthy, and her background was much different than that." For the cast, aside from Millie Alcock leading as Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, we've got Eve Ridley playing Ruthie Mary Knoll and Matthias Schoenaerts stepping in as the villain Krem of the Yellow Hills. David Krumholtz and Emily Beecham will play Supergirl's parents, Zor-El and Allura in Z. Fans can also look forward to Krypto, the superpowered dog, joining the adventure. But the most interesting thing is that Jason Momoa will be in the movie. Jason Momoa used to rule the seas as Aquaman in the DCEU, but now he's stepping into a whole new vibe as Lobo in James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU. So who exactly is this wild character Momoa's taking on? Lobo is a chaotic, ruthless bounty hunter from the planet Zarnia, with a misleading name and a constantly changing style in the comics. Let's dive into what makes him such a unique anti-hero. Lobo first popped up in DC Comics in the 1980s as a purple-haired alien villain rocking a colorful leotard. But by the 90s, he got a major redesign, beefed up muscles, biker gear, and dreadlocks, becoming a satirical response to darker Marvel characters like Punisher and Wolverine. Fans loved this grittier version, and he ended up headlining his own bloody, over-the-top bounty-hunting adventures. Since then, Lobo's look has been all over the place, sometimes pirate-themed, sometimes dressed like a bishop, while his powers and personality have shifted just as wildly. What stays consistent? He's a Zarnian with insane strength, enough to go toe-to-toe with Superman, plus super speed, regeneration, heightened senses, and even the ability to clone himself from a single drop of blood. Oh, and he literally wiped out his entire planet with mutant scorpions just because he felt like it. His name in his native language? He who devours your entrails and thoroughly enjoys it. Yeah, he's that guy. Despite being heartless most of the time, he once killed a twisted version of Santa Claus, Lobo has his quirks. He always keeps his word, fights for whoever pays the most, and has an adorable soft spot for space dolphins. Outside comics, he's shown up in animated series like Superman the Animated Series and Young Justice, plus a brief live-action run in Krypton. A solo movie has been teased since 2009, with directors like Guy Ritchie and even Michael Bay attached at different times, but it never got off the ground. Now, with Momoa on board, it finally feels like Lobo's time might have come. Now, let me address another question. Will Superman appear? David Corenswet's Superman isn't officially confirmed for Supergirl, but it wouldn't be surprising if he popped up for a cameo, much like Supergirl did in his film. James Gunn recently said that his next Superman movie is not World's Finest or Batman vs. Superman. Says Superman is very important in the film. Announcement coming sooner than later, but not this week. Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 is swinging into theaters next year, and we've already got some cool early details. The official title is Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Tom Holland has teased that it'll be a fresh start for Spidey. Makes sense after the crazy ending of No Way Home. Don't expect things to feel like the old Spidey trilogy, because this is clearly a new chapter. After a few unexpected MCU schedule shuffles, this new Spider-Man flick is now dropping before Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, which totally kills some fan theories and sparks a bunch of new ones. The release date is set for July 31st, 2026, as part of Marvel Phase 6. It was originally supposed to land on July 24th, but it got nudged back a week, probably to avoid competing with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which also stars Tom Holland and comes out July 17th. Filming is supposed to start this summer, but there's still no locked-in shooting date. Hopefully they kick things off soon, or we might see another delay. We'll keep an eye on it and share updates as they drop. As for a trailer, nope, nothing yet since filming hasn't even started. Based on Marvel's usual timeline, we'll probably see one around January or February 2026, similar to how Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four rolled out their trailers a few months ahead. And of course, as soon as it drops, you'll hear about it. As for the cast, of course, Tom Holland is back as Peter Parker, and Stranger Things star Sadie Sink has joined the lineup too. For a while, fans were throwing out all kinds of theories. Maybe she's Jean Grey, Firestar, or even Mary Jane Watson herself. Some even guessed she could be Lily Hollister, aka the villain Menace. But now we've got a more specific and wild rumor thanks to industry insider John Rocha on the Hot Mic podcast. According to Rocha, Sadie Sink is reportedly playing Mayday Parker, the daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. But here's the twist. This Mayday isn't from Tom Holland's universe. She's actually from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man timeline, making her the daughter of Tobey's Peter Parker and Kirsten Dunst's MJ. If this is true, we're looking at a huge multiverse connection that could bring Tobey's world face-to-face with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Mayday Parker, in the comics, first appeared in What If number 105. She inherits her dad's powers and eventually becomes her own hero, going by Spider-Girl and sometimes Spider-Woman. She also had a cameo in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but if Sadie plays her here, it'll be the first live-action take on the character. The film is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton and also adds the Bear star Liza Colin-Zayas to the cast. Zendaya will return as MJ, and Jacob Batalon is also back as Ned, but their roles could be very different this time around, since, after No Way Home, they don't even remember who Peter is. One big surprise? Jon Bernthal's Punisher is making his big-screen MCU debut here after popping up in a couple of episodes of Daredevil Born Again. He first showed up in Netflix's Daredevil and then starred in his own show, so it'll be wild to see Frank Castle step into Spidey's world. Naturally, this makes fans wonder if Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock might appear too. For now, though, only Vincent D'Onofrio has spoken about it, and he said Kingpin won't be showing up, since he's only usable for television series right now. Benedict Cumberbatch might return as Doctor Strange, but he's only confirmed for the upcoming Avengers film so far. And Andrew Garfield? He's denied any involvement, though after No Way Home, nobody really buys his denials anymore. Sony boss Amy Pascal also hinted that there are a lot of fantastic female characters in this movie, so expect some new faces to join the cast. Who will they be? We'll just have to wait and see. Clayface. It's the third feature in the new DC universe and will be an R-rated body horror flick diving into the origin of Batman's terrifying shape-shifting villain. The idea came from Mike Flanagan, known for The Haunting of Hill House and Dr. Sleep, who's been pitching a Clayface story since 2021. By 2023, he brought it to DC Studios as part of the planned Batman Epic Crime Saga. In December 2024, DC officially greenlit Flanagan's script, with Matt Reeves still on board as a producer alongside DC Studios. Flanagan was supposed to direct too, but his schedule got packed with Carrie and the Exorcist projects. So, in February 2025, James Watkins stepped in as director. Production is set to kick off this September in the UK and run through October. In case there's any doubt in the wake of Superman, James Gunn confirms that the DC Universe's take on Clayface is a horror film. Although it's in the same universe, it's a complete horror film, Gunn told CBS Mornings. There's not a company style. It's not like every movie is going to be like Superman, he continues. The artists and the directors and the writers that create each one will bring their own sense to it. After a long casting process, several actors screen tested for Matt Hagen: Tom Blythe, George McKay, Jack O'Connell, Tom Rhys-Harries, and Leo Woodall. In the end, Tom Rhys-Harries landed the role in June 2025. Mike Flanagan revealed the script takes inspiration from Batman the Animated Series' iconic two-parter, Feet of Clay. The film's Clayface will be Matt Hagen, but with elements of Basil Karlo's backstory mixed in. In this version, Hagen is a handsome rising actor from Gotham who moves to Hollywood to escape his troubled past. But after he's attacked and disfigured, his acting career is destroyed, leading him down a dark path that eventually transforms him into a shape-shifting monster. For some comic context, Hagen first appeared in Detective Comics number 298 in 1961 as a treasure hunter who became Clayface after exposure to strange protoplasm. Basil Karlo, who debuted in Detective Comics number 40, was a disgraced actor who went on a murder spree dressed as a character he once played. The movie merges elements of both. The film also introduces new original characters. Hagen's love interest is Dr. Caitlin Bates, a biotech CEO who wants to cure his condition and ends up falling for him. Her fiancé John is a detective who grows suspicious of their relationship. The main villain will be a crime boss, also an original character. So far, no other familiar DC heroes or villains are confirmed. Clayface will lean into character-driven horror and is set to hit theaters on September 11, 2026, as part of DCU's Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Avengers Doomsday. The next big Avengers movie, originally called The Kang Dynasty, is now Avengers Doomsday, and Doctor Doom is the new main villain after Marvel dropped Kang. Even wilder, Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU, but this time as Doom, not Iron Man. The movie is set to release on December 18, 2026, after a couple of delays. Filming started in April 2025, with the Russo brothers back in the director's chairs, and Michael Waldron, who wrote Loki and Doctor Strange 2, is writing the script. The cast is absolutely stacked. Along with the Fantastic Four, we'll see the Thunderbolts, plus Avengers like Thor, Captain America, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, and more. The X-Men are also in the mix: Patrick Stewart as Xavier, Ian McKellen as Magneto, and even Channing Tatum as Gambit. Plot-wise, expect big multiverse chaos. Doom's arrival will likely tie into Fantastic Four first steps and may explain Kang's sudden disappearance. The TVA might even show up, and leaked set photos hint at different hero teams, like the Thunderbolts and Sam Wilson's squad, teaming up on a mysterious spaceship. No trailer yet, as filming's still early, so don't expect one until 2026. But with the Russos back and Doom stepping into the spotlight, this is shaping up to be endgame-level massive. Avengers Secret Wars. The film is now scheduled for December 17, 2027. It was originally set for May 2026, then delayed twice due to strikes and the massive scale of production. Marvel is taking extra time to make sure this event movie feels as epic as Infinity War and Endgame. The Russo brothers are officially back to direct Secret Wars. Most of the cast of Doomsday will likely return. Beyond that, it's expected we'll see many returning Avengers and multiverse variants: Spider-Man, Wolverine, She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, and more, plus villains like Kang, Magneto, and Molecule Man could appear given their comic connections. Marvel hasn't shared an official synopsis yet, but Avengers Secret Wars will directly follow Avengers Doomsday, and will draw heavily from the 2015 Secret Wars comics, where multiverse-destroying incursions lead Doctor Doom to seize control and form Battleworld, a patchwork planet made from fragments of collapsing realities. Heroes and villains are forced to fight for survival, culminating in a final showdown to restore order. The MCU has already laid groundwork for this, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness teasing incursions, No Way Home and Loki introducing multiverse variants, and Deadpool and Wolverine highlighting unstable timelines, setting the stage for a massive crossover uniting every corner of the Marvel Universe, including possible Fox and Sony characters, into one epic multiverse clash. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon and other exciting upcoming movies and series. We'll see you next time.